Welcome to the Morris Chirka Show, a humor broadcast where we hear the thoughts of experts to help you laugh more and live life more fuller.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I am excited. I am with the one, the only, one of a kind, here for limited time offer, Claire Hustus. Claire is a cultivator of hope. She's a joy releaser. Claire went to Asbury Theology Cemetery. Hope I said that right.
Theological seminary, but yeah.
Right? English is my second language. Bad English is my first.
It's okay. My dad spoke cow, so I'm good.
And she graduated with masters in the biblical studies. Claire is a certified belief trainer from Stephen Backlund and Igniting Hope Ministries. Her life was radically changed after encounter with Jesus on the floor at a conference center and has never been the same again. Everybody, let's give a big round of applause. Here is Claire.
Thank you.
Claire, welcome. It is such an honor and pleasure to have you here. And with your background knowledge and your joy, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
So before we get started, please tell the audience more about the Claire Hustis.
So I'm Claire, and you ever notice how God plays little I call it Jehovah sneaky moments? Well, he said, I want you to found a business. I was like, but aren't we supposed to be founding a ministry? And he's like, yeah, you got to figure out how you're going to fund that ministry. So here's a business. So COVID happened, and all of a sudden I get thrown into the deep end of the pool to learn how to do business. I was like, I'm a kindergartner speaking business, going, ah. And so, yeah, it was one of those big, stiff learning curves. But I run a business called Cultivating Transformation because in this era, we're drowning in information and
Mm,
starving for transformation. You hear it all over the place. People are like, but I don't understand. And then somebody will just tell them, like, read the Bible more, pray more. Oh,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, but they're looking for that transformation. They want to know how you got what you have. And
right.
people can't communicate that. And so it's like, this is what I do. I communicate renewing this. We're so focused on getting our head to our heart. And I'm like, that's my heart's not my problem. My head is my problem. My renewed mind is my problem.
People have
And
been
so
telling me that for years.
yeah. And so I'm like, hey, stop telling me it's a heart problem. It's not an 18-inch problem. It's a subconscious problem. It's a right
Mm.
here problem. My in
Ah.
my primal brain needs to get it too.
Let's get in tune here.
Yeah. So so that's what I do. I help you grab what you think you believe. My favorite one is worry, right? You're like, you trust God, right? Well, absolutely, I trust God. I said, so you ever wake up in the middle of the night worrying? I usually get dirty looks at that point because people are like, ooh. And I'm like, yeah, you do, right? You're
I,
telling me you do.
I'm not gonna lie, I have.
Trust God. But your subconscious doesn't trust God yet. And how do you move from this to this and bridge that gap?
Right.
It's the story you tell yourself. It's the scriptures you repeat over and over again. It's not letting something else drive you because most of us have unexamined beliefs that were solidly concrete at 7 years old. So our
Hmm.
7 year old is driving us around. Most of us are like, what? No way. Yeah.
Is
And you
that
wonder why you're going where you don't want to go every time you try to go someplace else. You're like, why do I keep winding up back here? Well, you let a 7-year-old guide you. So
is that why people are telling me, Morris, grow up?
that's okay. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm pretty sure I'm on my third or fourth childhood now. So, but I was very serious when I was a teenager. So I choose not to be now.
Don't make me ask you here now, because like I can see your facial expression. You're full of joy,
Oh, yeah.
right? And full of laughter. How has your your biblical studies and God and joy, like how does it all tie together? Because sometimes when I hear God, I think of Gandalf. That's right, with a gray beard, there's a staff, and I will smuck you on the head if you say something wrong. So, am I
I
right or am
big
I
hand.
out to lunch?
God's like a big hand. It's like it's hand of favor. His right hand, seated. I cover you with my hand. You know, it's like I see him as a hand. It's just like this one big hand that's reaching around doing stuff. So many biblical imageries of a hand happen. You know, he covers things. He does this guy. You know, he's like protecting. Yeah, it's so funny what images we get of him.
Right. No, exactly. And yet, he's not necessarily that. He's joy.
Right? He's intimate. He wants relationship. God chases us down. Genesis 3, right? He enters the garden and they're hiding, and it's like, yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo. Yeah, he's not there going standing outside going, come out here, I want to ground you. No, he's yoo-hooing them under a bush, you know, and they're like, where are you? We hid. Yeah, you're hiding from the Almighty. How's that working out for you?
Yeah, he knows what's in your heart. Never mind where you are physically. Like come on, right?
Has every hair on this head, you know. So, yeah,
Well, it won't be easy. Sorry, it's not hard for God to count how many hairs I have on my head.
maybe in your mustache and beard, eh?
Boo! Right. And so, how has, because again, we always look at people look at God as so serious. When, like, describe, like, how is God so joyful and humorous? And because I don't know, I heard that so many times that no, he's very strict, but yet I'm hearing joyful. How so?
It's so funny how in the last 10 years that has shifted so much in my life because, you know, I never was aware of any scriptures like I shared with you about Romans 14:17, where the kingdom of God is righteousness, peace, and joy in
And
believing,
joy.
right? And joy in believing. I mean, this is all of these things. You got to have all three to be the kingdom. And you're looking at Jesus going, he's a friend of sinners. He's accused of hanging out with drunkards and prostitutes and tax collectors. It's like and a bunch of stinky fishermen, you know. I mean, these guys were not exactly like, you know, the high end of society. These are the
Right.
working class people.
They weren't really proper.
Oh, I mean, I can imagine Peter more like a longshoreman, you know. he's he's he stinks, he's fishing. That's what he does. You know, I mean, he's just not your class act guy. And yet, what is it? Jesus like, come, I'll make you fishers of men. He plays puns all the time. I mean, he's never like, let me tell you a story. The kingdom of God is like, and God is like, and hey, you want to learn how to pray? It's like, you know,
Yeah.
like he's never there going and giving straight answers. And most of the time he gets asked a question, it's like, Jesus, what's the kingdom like? Well, let me ask you a question.
Oh, yeah. He always turns around with questions. Yeah.
Which is the best teaching tool because it gets you to come up with the answer, and now it's a concrete thing.
Yeah.
Versus him telling you it, and you walk away going, "What did he say?" I mean, I'm gonna make you fishers of fish. He's gonna make you fishers of fish. Wait, no, he said something else. Fishers of fishing. Fish.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when he gets the answer out of you, you concretes it in your learning, as opposed to all this, you know. And I love, of course, to laugh, and I tell stories all the time, you know, and I do them in funny ways because it's like I want people to remember who I am, but I also want them to remember the story I told, and I could tell it just like this, and it would be kind of exciting, but you really wouldn't understand that I'm excited about the story I want to tell you.
Oh, seriously, come on, no. Yeah. And I like how it says in the Bible as well, when it says, "Come to me," like come to Jesus, like come to me as little children.
Right.
And to me, that is a huge impact on my life because I used to bang myself over and over. Okay, I got to know this. I got to know the meaning of this scripture. Uh, and what's fascinating or tricky or difficult is we're looking at the Bible in today's eyes and meaning when 2,000 years ago, even terminology 20 years ago is different.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So like just a little quick little minor thing. Um, when Jesus left the tomb and they went inside and they found his headcloth folded.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that represents? The folded?
Well, he uncovered the head of the church, and he is the head of the church.
But the actual folding part.
Enlighten me.
I did not know this until like 2016 when somebody told me in the Jewish culture, folding of the cloth at the table means I'm coming back.
Okay. Yep.
So he says returning.
That's in the Passover. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yep. So the reason I mentioned that is because
coming back.
There's so much that we don't know. Right. Yeah. Yeah, Jesus as a Terminator. I'll be back. Hey, so come to me as little children. All right. Which tells me I don't have to be some professor in theology. I don't need to be know all the ins and outs of it. All I got to know is here I am. This is me. My good, bad, and unfortunately, most of it, the ugly.
Yeah, you know what's great about children, though? I mean, think about a baby learning to walk, right? It's not okay, I'm going to pull myself up the couch and take one foul step for baby and fall flat on my face. Right?
That was me this morning getting out of bed.
You know, I mean, and they don't go, well, I guess I'm not a walker. So they emulate, they look at what, you know, like the disciples looked at what Jesus did, and they did the same stuff that Jesus did. And so we got to look to Jesus and we look and go, okay, think like a child. Like, okay, I'm going to practice what Jesus did. I'm going to raise the dead, raise Jeff, raise the dead, cast out demons. Yeah, I mean, they did that sort of stuff. But what I love is another thing about children is they laugh. I mean, babies almost laugh right off the bat. You don't have to be doing something funny. It could be gas, but they still laugh at that. You know? And you know, one of the things that Cousins found too, Norman Cousins did a whole lot of, we talked about a little bit of the sciencey stuff, right? Children will laugh on average 400 times a day. Grumpy adults laugh about 15. So I think Jesus wants us to just come more joyful.
Right.
I'd rather not have you grumpiness. Go to your room and come out when you can be happy.
Well, it's all about relationship, and any good relationship has love. It has joyfulness, and of course, with joyfulness, it's gonna have laughter. When you feel safe with each other, you can open up to laugh. And to on the flip side of the coin, if it's you're always fighting each other, there's no joy. Nowhere in the Bible or there it says, you know, the best way to a relationship is to fight each other.
No, I'm pretty sure that goes against the oneness thing that Jesus was talking about.
Yeah,
I'm the Father and one. It's literally I and the Father are one. Numeral uno one.
exactly. As long as you don't put down your index finger, it's all good, right? But
On some levels, it's three. And I can't do it without holding down this one. So it's really three. I and the Father and the Holy Spirit are one. I'm like, welcome to
right.
math. It's three, but it's one. And it's also the Holy Spirit. It's like, but the fruit of the Spirit are, and the works of the Spirit are, and it's one Spirit. And I'm like, thanks, God. So he gave me the Spirit. It's God math. I don't have to understand it. Why can 300 people take out 135,000? God math.
Right.
God math. How can one take out 10 and two take out 1,000? I'm like, that's not even 1 0, Lord. That's two. You don't even follow the exponential laws. I'm just saying. And he chooses not to, and I'm okay with it. I'm like, welcome to God math.
Absolutely. And we'll talk more about God math after we see this brief message right here.
Imagine living a life filled with hope and joy. Claire, a certified relief trainer and joy releaser, is here to help you experience just that. With a master's in biblical studies and a life transformed by an encounter with Jesus, Claire is dedicated to guiding you toward a life of purpose and fulfillment. Whether you're seeking renewed faith, personal growth, or simply more joy in your everyday life, Claire has the tools and experience to help you get there. Discover the life-changing power of hope with Claire.
And welcome back. That's right. We are here live recording with Claire Hustus. She is a cultivating transformationist. Transformationist. Sure. And she helps people to get connected with God, with joyfulness, lovingness, to transform your lives like you have never experienced before.
Yeah, one of the ways I actually do that, a little God math, right? Psalm 2:4, right? It's talking about the plans of the enemy. And then there's this one-off verse that says, and God looks at the plans of the enemies, and he just laughs at them. Like, dude, you're not going to take over. I kind of know your end game. So it's like, he just, like, really? You're coming at me with this flash? You're trying to distract me with this flash? And God's just like, yeah, you're going to see some God math. I'll send 2 people against you and take out an entire village. God math.
Yes. And you kind of have to laugh at it now. Even though at the time it was like lots of killing happened back there. But you got to look at now if we didn't have humor,
Mhm.
the hard times of our past, and not just us in our lifetime, our parents and grandparents, grandparents, and
Oh,
2,000 years, if we didn't have humor, can you imagine all the weight, literally, of the world upon us?
yeah. No, I can't. Well, actually, I can. I was that as a teenager.
Right.
I didn't do well with it, so therefore I developed a different personality. And then
So,
I actually renewed my mind to what Jesus said and God said and Papa and all this stuff and went, yeah, there's a disconnect. Even the violence of the Old Testament, right? I look at it and I go, okay, God, some of it is it people making choices and like we have 2000 years pre post Jesus history
yeah,
where people make choices and they go, God told me to do it. And it's like, did they misunderstand you? Did you, and I still think there's some of that in the Old Testament, and the Orthodox Church allows the image of God to be more centered on what Jesus says about his Father, which in John he's really clear. I came to show you the Father,
right.
and so we have to raise Jesus above even what we see in the Old Testament about God, because most of it is a hand of favor. And when he, like Jeremiah is the best one, he talks about this light leaving Jerusalem. And it's this thing like God took his hand of favor off them, and then the natural consequences come in.
Yeah.
And so some of it is just that, but God is still chasing them down because he leaves them with Jeremiah 29:11. I have great plans for you, even though the next little bit's going to be stinky. And you
And
brought it on yourself. I have great plans for you. Hey, why don't we? I mean, that's what I love about you and I were talking about Nehemiah 8:11 there, where it says, the joy of the Lord is our strength. It's in a season where they're being rebuked
yeah,
by the priests because they're hearing the law for the first time in 70, 80 years, and they're coming back from exile, and they are just in this mourning of things are not what they used to be. Oh my,
right.
this is what brought us to all of the suffering that we had. And they're like, no, no, be happy.
Yes.
Rejoice over this because this shows me I got the end I wanted. But you don't need to be joy. This is more preachers should understand. Laughter is going to get you a better commitment than a whole lot of tears sometimes.
You just reminded me the walls of Jericho
Mhm.
going around it 7 times. And on the seventh time, they didn't go, all right, let's grab our guns. Let's grab our tanks. Let's grab our muscles. No, they grab joy, blow the horns and celebrate. And
Yeah, exactly. And one of the theories that I've heard, and it's really cool, is like this pencil is vibrating.
yes,
Because God spoke the basic material into existence. And so there's a voice of God. And so if things stop vibrating with this quantum physics thing, it literally would just disintegrate into its basic element of dust. And so I think that's what happened. I think God shifted, their shout shifted the atmosphere so much, the bricks stopped vibrating. And it just, God was totally in it because how does matter stop vibrating? God
right.
takes his hand of favor again off of that, you know.
I just like to go to show how powerful humor is, how powerful joy is. It like again, it took down a whole entire wall.
Yeah. Yeah. If
Hey,
they had rejoiced the way before they crossed the Red Sea, the way they did after they crossed the Red Sea, it'd be a very different culture for them, and they might not have spent 40 years in the desert
right.
wandering around going, huh, I wonder if we made a bad decision. I've seen
And
that rock before.
yeah,
That's that rock 4 days ago. I've seen that rock before. We camped here 4 years ago. Why are we going in circles away?
right.
We made bad choices. We chose not to trust God. I know, right? I mean, there's so much more to joy, though. Joy
Can you
is like something inside
right.
you that says, hey, you
Yeah.
know what? I know life is tough right now. I'm going to choose something. It's a choice.
Hmm.
Like, I really felt at the beginning of the year, I needed to laugh more because
Oh,
children laugh 400 times, and I probably laughed more than 15, but I'm on the higher average, but not 400. So I found this thing called Dry Bar Comedy, which
yes.
clean comedy out of Provo, Utah, and it is some of the funniest stuff. I do a beatbox. It's like, you know, makes me laugh. Like these guys and these gals are just hilarious. It's all clean though. I don't have
Yeah.
to for any kind of I can wait because I know there's not going to be any bad language. They don't
Yes.
allow it. And these people are hilarious and their timing, and of course, these are all professionals, so they've got all their routines pretty well packed. But it is
Right.
the funniest 15 minutes, and I laugh hysterically. And I threw
Oh,
one of those on to just raise my mood because if you want to break something, one of the things that Steve Backlund, who is one of my mentors, he says laughter cleans out your pipes. So if you're
yes.
like some of these things, if you're thinking a thought that you don't want to think, laugh. Your brain gets rewired in those moments.
Mm.
And so I've done this. I'm like, you know what? What if we just laughed uh, you know, instead like when we want to grab we're stressed out and we're like, oh, I'm gonna stress eat, we never think of it as stress eating, but what if we trained ourselves with a note on the refrigerator, why don't you laugh for 2 minutes, wait 30 minutes and see if you really want the thing, right? Because most of it is a stress reaction, you know
Yeah.
lose
So
weight. Yeah,
laughter is rewiring
it
of
is.
the brain and the
Yeah,
body and the emotion.
yeah.
Wow.
But if you listen to something funny on your drive time instead of, you know, being all
Listen to
like,
the
I'm
news.
stuck in traffic.
And on the way home here on the traffic report here, we have a 20 car pile up. Yeah, well, we don't want that, right? But I get it.
And you can just laugh because it's like there's so much benefit to it. An hour of laughing at a movie, funny movie or funny sitcom. I mean, almost a day of benefit health wise. It does. There's so many people who do so many different studies. Raises their growth hormone. It lowers your cortisol, which is, your stress and all of those things. It's crazy.
Raises your growth hormone.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the first I heard of that. Will
Yeah.
that help grow my hair?
I don't know. I don't know. That one came out of the Journal of American Medical Association. The allergy symptoms were reduced on all 26 subjects for 4 hours after the video. Alternative therapies looked at 52 healthy men watching an hour-long comedy, and they measured their before and their after, their T cell counts, and they discovered that 1 hour of laughing boosted their immunity for up to 12 hours, reduced their stress, and they had more of and then one of the other studies, that's not the one with the HG. Oh, here it is. Yeah, 27% more beta endorphins, 87% more growth hormones in their blood on average for the group that laughed for an hour. And that was done at Oak Crest Health Research in California. I mean, and it doesn't say the age of the men, but
Wow.
still, they're studying late. So maybe the reason why people live longer was because they laughed more.
Now, tying this back into theology here.
Right. God created us.
And so laughter. When we laugh, our body like it vibrates, right?
Yeah.
Like the eyeballs.
Yeah.
And so, like you said in quantum physics,
Yeah.
would you believe that, or what's your opinion on, because of laughter, it causes our body to vibrate more.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of jump starting our cells in all aspects.
That could be possible. I don't have any science on that, but that would be a good test. I'm betting somebody's probably done it. Half of these are done by secular people because Christian scientists are too busy trying to prove God exists and not actually like, let's do some science,
Yeah.
Let's find a weight loss cure. Let's find some solutions to the problems that we're experiencing, Sometimes we get focused on the wrong things, but God,
Yeah.
One of the things Steve says a lot is, I don't need joy at the end of the battle. I need joy in the middle of the battle, right? We need joy every day. We need to laugh at it and just think we're not as stressed and we'll get solutions. This is one of the ones I love. If you believe there's a solution to a problem, just the belief that there's a solution all of a sudden will change. You'll find the solution. It may take time, but you'll find that solution because you told yourself there was one.
Yes.
Find a solution to laughing.
Yeah. This past weekend when I was in Colorado Springs to be exact, I bumped into a U.S. soldier, and I had to ask, like, here he is in his full camo outfit.
Well,
and
that's pretty close to all those Air Force bases over there.
Well, exactly. And I had to ask him because they go through difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him, how has humor helped you? Because they have to laugh, otherwise they're gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
And this is what he said: humor helps you find the silver lining in difficult situations.
Yep. Yeah.
Claire, I thank you so much here. And before we go, any last thoughts?
I think just the fact that if you believe laughing can change things. I mean, there's so much stats out there, cancer's being cured and all of this stuff. Why not test it out? Why not go, if you got a health issue, go, all right, you know what? I'm just going to laugh more. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to get Dry Bar Comedy. I'm little, promotion for it. Get Dry Bar Comedy. I'm going to watch 2 videos every day. That'd be about an hour. And see if things shift. And just adding that, something shifts in it, because it's like this huge deal what laughter is on our body. And I love it what you're saying. It shakes things up. It does get our cells excited. And I'm like, that could be the quantum stuff that we need to do with laughter and getting it all shook up. It's so good, because I mean, I think the biggest thing is I want my 7-year-old to not be driving my bus. I want my adult self, but I also want my adult self to be happy and joyful in tough situations. And so just the choice that I'm going to laugh more, just that
Yes.
choice, I think it's the beginning first step that you can tell yourself and just every day go, I'm going to laugh more. I'm going to laugh more. By golly, I'm
Wow.
going to laugh more. And guess what? This laugh is not a real laugh. I'm laughing on
I, I love what you said
Let
there.
some sound out. Sometimes I'll be just like,
You're laughing so hard, it's like I can't breathe.
yeah, I mean, you just do it. I mean, think about it. If you did that, you know, like I was saying earlier with the weight loss, what if you put a note? I'm gonna go laugh for 2 minutes, wait 20 minutes, and see if I really think I need food anymore.
Oh,
I mean, that could be a weight loss breakthrough right there for people.
that
Laugh it
sounds
off.
like the perfect formula. Watch two comedies, right? Like you said, a short 15-minute a
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
and see what happens. And
For 30 days.
I
Challenge yourself. 30 days.
there you hear that, folks. A challenge for each and one of you to watch comedy every day and see what happens. And I challenge you all scientists to do a study on what does laughter really do to the cells.
Yes,
Ooh.
I'm sure it's out there. Some special.
And I will leave you with this joke here. Gotta leave with a joke here. Gotta leave with a joke.
Absolutely.
Okay. So when I was in Colorado Springs, um, there's this one conductor on the Cog Peak Pikes Railway, because top of the mountain.
Oh,
And I was just up there. He said, "You see those big rocks over there? Those really big rocks?" We're all like, "Yeah, yeah." Those rocks are poisonous to the humans. What? Yep. One drop and it will kill you.
that is true. I do not want them landing on me. Unlike the coyote and the roadrunner,
Oh,
I
Looney
do get
Tunes.
flattened. you know?
Claire, I thank you so much. Everybody, you have been watching and listening to Claire Hustis, Cultivating Transformationist. And yeah, please look in the description, click on her link there, you can go to her website, and you can connect with this amazing, incredible human being of God here to change and transform your life. No.
Exactly. Because you need to stop letting the 7-year-old take you where you don't want to go.
Like,
So book a free call with me. Yeah.
you hear that? A free call. So check it out
Yep.
and make sure to click her link, um, click subscribe,
Yep.
comment, like, and share.
Yes.
And we'll see you all tomorrow. Claire, thank you.